So again, there's so many learning opportunities when it comes to science. Language arts, when it comes to preschoolers, they're just really being introduced to, tracing and line writing and everything, but that's not all that it is. Vocabulary is huge, especially for, our students who English is not their first language. Vocabulary. So when it comes to like classroom displays, we can have a display of, a sheet with common fruits and vegetables. On our walls, we can go over the vocabulary, what sounds certain things make. So P is for pumpkin, pumpkin. And, putting things in a sing-songy way really helps kids remember. But really, we want kids to practice those sounds with their mouths and letter recognition. So, one day could be one letter, another day could be another letter or another color. Having a food journal, what that means is in the classroom for snack time, we will be trying new foods, having new foods, and after our snack, we're going to be, we can draw what we ate, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we tried, what we didn't try. And at the end of our study of nutrition and healthy eating, they'll have a whole little booklet filled with things that they've learned and tried, and they can reflect back and look, and so can their parents or caregivers. We can read nutrition themed books. Again, reading is very important. Alphabet, fruit, and veggie display. A is for apple, B is for banana, C is for cantaloupe. Just introducing children to different fruits and vegetables they might not be exposed to. And using, there's a wonderful book called Mrs. P. Knuckles' Vegetable Garden, and she also has a fruit garden and a flower garden one. But it's by Mrs. Pinnacle, and it goes A through Z through all the fruits and vegetables, zucchinis, and it just introduces children to something they might not know, and it has a little fact about the fruit and vegetables. So just introducing them to those concepts. Math, now they're just being introduced to math, and so counting fruits and vegetables, sorting by color, shape, size, which is bigger, this orange or this, lime, what color is this apple? There's 3 different colors of apple, red, yellow, and green. Let's sort them out together. And you can use real fruits and vegetables for this. Display fruits and vegetables, like toy fruits and vegetables. You can use like little tiny countings, and sorting little fruits and vegetables, kind of like similar to here where you see different colors. And here you can even use pom-poms to represent the different color apples. So even measuring, so getting a ruler, and then that helps with counting. How many inches is this cucumber? Or comparing weight, getting a little scale in the classroom and showing them more than, less than on the scale. It just helps integrate all that. Physical development, of course, it comes to like having enough energy to do physical development. So discussing basic anatomy, maybe even discussing basics like when you eat fruits and vegetables, it gives you good energy that lasts a long time, that, helps your bones and helps your brain and helps your nerves and helps your muscles. But physically, walking, going on a field trip, going to a farmer's market, for example, they're walking around, they're using their senses, they're feeling things, they're carrying things. Visiting a grocery store, they're walking around. Visiting a farm, where they maybe get to even milk a cow or, talk to the farmer and walk around and see what the farmer does all day. Chopping and cooking, And gardening is really helping to develop those fine motor skills when it comes to picking little seeds up and planting them, or cooking and paying attention to where they're chopping, and not being distracted, and then stirring things in and using their senses. Safety is really important. So using nutrition and healthy eating to talk about safety. Use proper cutting techniques, washing our hands before and why we should, proper hygiene. And then we can talk about, what our teeth need to develop and grow, like calcium and things, and what fruits and vegetables have calcium, how to clean fruits and vegetables before we use them, and just in general, how to keep our body healthy, keeping our, little fingers safe when we're cutting foods. Art, there's so many ways where we can talk about art, or display art. One of my favorites is using cuts of fruits and vegetables as kind of like block printing. So we can do this on a sheet of paper. My favorite way, and you have to be very careful, make sure the kids are wearing aprons because it will stain their clothes, but using acrylic paint and then dipping, say, a bell pepper or a wedge of an orange, or even half a potato into the paint, and then putting it onto a dish towel and letting it dry, and then giving that as a gift to their parents, saying, I made this with a potato or half an apple. Apples actually do really well. So stamp printing them or doing watercolor. Again, we talked about a little bit, or maybe not, maybe doing a still life where you have a thing of grapes and a thing of apples and some other fruits and vegetables in the middle of a table, and grouping kids together and having them draw by looking at it and then, painting it. And that is a wonderful way to talk, discuss art and talk about different types of art, and then also to incorporate nutrition and healthy eating. We're going to move on to, I believe we haven't covered sharing with others.